Hi friends, welcome back to Open Happiness. Have you ever imagined going to the airport happily, ready for your journey, and suddenly the board flashes the word that no travelers want to see, cancelled? This is exactly what thousands of passengers across India faced recently. Not one or two, but hundreds of Indigo flights were cancelled in just a few days. People were stranded, dreams were shattered, and chaos take over airports. Today, I am going to explain why this happened, who is responsible, and the real life incidents that show how serious this crisis was. So stay with me till the end because this is not just an airline. It's about the lives affected behind every cancelled flight. The entire crisis started with new rules for pilots in India. The Aviation Authority introduced stricter flight duty time limit rules. These rules are meant to protect pilots from fatigue and stress. That sounds good, right? But here is the catch. Pilots now need more rest. They cannot fly as much midnight flights. There are stricter limits on how many hours they can work. To operate the same number of flights, airlines now need more pilots. But Indigo, India's biggest airline, was simply not prepared. They had too many flights, too many night schedules, too few pilots. It was like running a restaurant with 200 customers and only 4 waiters. Sooner or later, disaster is guaranteed. When the new rule came into effect, the new safety regulations by DGCA were announced as far back as early 2024. The rollout was scheduled in two phases. The first phase started on 1 July 2025, introducing certain rest time and duty time changes. The second phase, with stricter limitations, came into effect on 1 November 2025. So, legally, the full set of rules apply to all airlines from November 1, 2025. Even though the rules had been public for a long time, Indigo ran into trouble. Here is why. Night flight heavy network made them especially vulnerable because the new rules heavily restrict night operations like night landing limited, duty hours capped, rest periods increased, airlines with many night flights are hit harder. Indigo fits exactly into that category. Although the rule applied to all airlines, other carriers had fewer night flights, smaller network, or more flexible staffing structures, and so could cope better. But Indigo, with many night flights, many night operations, and a tight staffing model, the rule exposed critical under preparation. Because of this, Indigo's few flights were cancelled, everything started to collapse. Pilots who were supposed to fly the next flight didn't have enough rest. Aircraft got stuck at different airports. Connecting flights couldn't take off. Luggage built up. Crowds filled every terminal. Within days, passengers were sleeping on the airport floor, waiting without information and hoping someone would help. And now comes the most painful part. These aren't just cancellations, these are lives interrupted. A couple missed their own wedding. A father missed his own son's life changing exam. A man missed his father's funeral. Families slept on airport floors. A flight is not just a seat number, a ticket, or a boarding pass. A flight is someone's wedding, someone's exam, someone's last goodbye, someone's dream, someone's emotional journey. When flights get cancelled, people's lives get cancelled. After the chaos, the public outrage, Indigo had no chance but to respond. The airline has now taken several steps to control the damage. Restructured flight schedules to match the available crew, issued refunds and free rescheduling for affected passengers, revised crew planning, and began hiring more pilots, temporarily reduced night flights to prevent further disruptions, requested regulatory support to smoothen operations. Those actions may fix the system, but the emotional damage done to passengers will take much longer to repair. Because rebuilding a network is easy, rebuilding trust is not. Whatever challenges came recently, we cannot forget that Indigo has been the airline that made flying within India possible for many people who once thought it was too expensive. Like this video if it gave you clarity. Share it with someone who travel often. Subscribe to Open Happiness for more meaningful videos.